In February 2013, two ISRO scientists and Dr. S.N. Ramya, a scientist associated with the Indian Institute of Science at that time, in their research paper published in Current Science Journal citing satellite data, had warned that Sikkim's South Lhonak glacier had receded by 1.9 kilometers between 1962 and 2008. Due to this, the probability of a lake outburst is very high there. In view of this danger, it is very important to install early warning systems. Scientist S.N. Ramya, who has been researching on the glaciers of Sikkim for more than a decade, also published a second research paper on South Lhonak glacier in 2019. It is said that between 2000 and 2015, the length of Lhonak Lake had increased by half a kilometer and the depth has increased by an average of 50 meters.
2013 में हमारा जो स्टडी साउथ लोनाक लेक में था, उसमें हमने जो बोला था कि हमने जो स्टडी किया था सैटेलाइट डेटा लेके, जो इसका प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ जो ब्रेकिंग दिस लेक हो सकता है कि 42% है. देन जो पानी है, जो लेक आउटबर्स्ट हुआ तो उसका पानी भी हम लोग प्रेडिक्ट किया था कि 19 मिलियन क्यूबिक मीटर तक, मीन्स अगर जो लेक आउटबर्स्ट हुआ तो उतना पानी होगा. तो उसी टाइम में भी हम लोग जैसे उसी में किया था कि ये लेक खतरे में है, तो हमने जो अर्ली वार्निंग सिस्टम भी उसी के साथ सजेस्ट किया था.
Sikkim is part of the eastern Himalayas, and in the high altitudes of the state you have no less than 300 glacial lakes. And experts say that these lakes are facing impacts of climate change and global warming, and therefore in fact a decade back the State Disaster Management Authority had started to study the lakes, and they had prepared a list of lakes which are vulnerable to climate change impact, and there were 10 lakes, out of which the South Lhonak Lake, where actually the glacial lake outburst flood started, was part of that list. Now what we are hearing from sources is that there were plans of putting early alarm systems in the high altitude for possible floods, flash floods. The question is whether those early alarm systems were put in place and whether they were working or not.
These first pictures of the broken dam obtained by NDTV show how horrific this disaster was. Director General of the Meteorological Department says the glacial lake outburst will have to be monitored in the future.
Climate change जो एक ongoing process है, इसके वजह से टेम्परेचर राइज होता है, और टेम्परेचर राइज होने से जो ग्लेशियर्स है वो मेल्टिंग होता है, यानी रिट्रीट भी करते हैं, उनका एरिया कम होता रहता है. और जब ग्लेशियर्स मेल्टिंग होता है, इससे पानी निकल के आता है, और वो पानी जो हिल एरिया में जब फ्लो होता है, कहाँ कहाँ जो लेक होता है, लेक डेवलप हो जाता है, नहीं तो लेक होता है तो लेक में पानी बढ़ जाता है. इसलिए कभी भी इसका एक डेंजरस सिचुएशन डेवलप हो सकता है. इसके लिए ये सभी जो ग्लेशियर मेल्टिंग है इसको कंटिन्यूसली मॉनिटरिंग किया जाता है, और जो लेक क्रिएट हो जाता है इसका भी मॉनिटरिंग हो जाता है.
At present, the intensity of rain has reduced in Sikkim, and with it, the danger of a new disaster has also reduced. With Himanshu Mishra in New Delhi, Pankaj in Gangtok, Ratnadeep Chaudhary for NDTV.